Jai Hind students, and welcome to the another session of our online class. Today we are again going to discuss our last chapter which we discussed in our last class, The Fun They Had, written by Isaac Asimov. Half of the chapter we have covered in our previous session, and in this session we are going to cover the remaining half. Okay, so let's begin. Before beginning from the mid, let me quickly remind you, The Fun They Had, it is a story which is set in the future. It has two main characters, Tommy and Margie, and one day they found a real book because they were using telebooks. So one day they found real book, and that was quite astonishing for both of them. Okay, they were surprised to see that real book because that real book was quite different from the telebook. So there was a man county inspector. One day when something wrong, when the machine, the robotic teacher malfunctioned, the county inspector came and took that machine away with him. And Marty, she was quite happy because she doesn't want to study from that machine. So that was all about our previous session. I have given you few questions. I hope you all have done that. Now let's begin with the remaining part of the chapter. Okay, so we have to start it from here. Yes, and he patted Margie's head again. Till here we had done. Now let's begin from here. Margie was disappointed. She had been hoping they would take the teacher away altogether. They had once taken Tommy's teacher away for nearly a month because the history sector had blanked out completely. So she said to Tommy, "Why would anyone write about school?" Tommy looked at her with very superior eyes. "Because it's not our kind of school, stupid. This is the old kind of school that they had hundreds and hundreds of years ago," she added loftily, pronouncing the word carefully, "centuries ago." Okay, so now what's happening here is, Margie was sad because she did not want to learn, she did not want to study from the machine. Okay, because she did not want to study from the machine, and she wanted that the inspector should take it away. Then there is a word used here, blanked out completely. So what does it mean, blanked out? Blanked out means it has been erased. Whatever the content has been written inside that has been erased. So Margie is reminded of the time when Tommy, mechanical teacher, had been taken away for repair for almost 1 month, and he was enjoying his time as he didn't have any teacher. It had been taken away because the history sector, the portion of the machine that taught the history subject, had been wiped out. Okay, wiped out means it got malfunctioned, and it was almost erased. So the mechanical teacher did not have any memory of it and had to be taken away for repair. Now we know the reason for Margie's dislike for school. So she asked Tommy that why would anyone write about school? You can see here she is asking a question to Tommy. Why would anyone write about school? Okay. Tommy was looking at Margie with superior eyes because he knew something, that Margie was not aware of. And because he knew something, he was having that superior feeling inside him. Okay, so he said that Margie was silly because she did not know that many years ago the school was not the kind they had. Okay, means schools were different. They are in which year at present? They are in 2157, 2157. This story is based in the year 2157, and they were discussing about the schools which we are having right now in 2020. Those buildings, school buildings, their students used to get together and study all together in one classroom, okay, and human teacher teaches them. So they are discussing about this kind of a school. So that's why he used this word centuries ago. Okay. Now let's see what's happening next. Marty was hurt.
Well, I don't know what kind of school they had all that time ago.
She read the book over his shoulder for a while, then said,
Anyway, they had a teacher? Sure, they had a teacher, but it wasn't a regular teacher. It was a man. Okay, so
Marty was hurt. Why Marty was hurt? Marty was hurt at Tommy's behavior. And she said that she did not know what kind of schools they had centuries ago. She was curious. She was curious and imagined. Okay, so she was curious and imagined a group of children being taught by a human teacher. She looked over Tommy's shoulder when she had given a sneak peek, looked over Tommy's shoulder, trying to read the book, and said that perhaps they had a teacher. Okay? Then what Tommy replied to her, you can see here, sure, they had a teacher, but it wasn't a regular teacher, it was a man. So here regular means normal, of the usual kind. Okay, so normal, what he replied that it was not a regular teacher, it was a man. What does he mean by regular teacher? For them the regular teacher means robots or the mechanical teachers, and human teachers were kind of a unusual kind of a thing for them. Okay, so that's why they are referring like this way. Tommy is referring to a machine teacher as a regular teacher because that is what they are used to. That is the teacher they had, a machine. He said that it wasn't the machine, it was a man who taught them. Okay, now let's see the next question which is coming up from Marty's side is, okay, here we are. Sorry. Yes.
a man? How could a man be a teacher? Well, he just told the boys and girls things and gave them homework and asked them questions. A man isn't smart enough. Sure, he is. My father knows as much as my teacher. He can't. A man can't know as much as a teacher. He knows almost as much as that.
Okay, so now see, Marty could not believe that a man was a teacher because she had always seen a machine doing that. Okay, Tommy tells that the man who taught the class discussed many things with the students, gave them homework, and then asked them different questions based on it, just like their mechanical teacher did. Okay. Sorry. Marty said that a man teacher is not as smart as the machine teacher. She said that how can a man be as smart as a machine? Machine, like it has a tremendous power. How can we match the ability of a machine to a man? How is it possible? She was quite surprised. Okay. Tommy asked Marty not to underestimate the human teacher. He said that he is as knowledgeable as the machine. He compares the machine to his father and says that his father knows as much as his machine teacher. Means, who has made this machine? Human beings only. Who are operating these machines? Human beings only. So how can we feel like human beings are inferior? Okay, so how can we underestimate the power of human beings? Human beings, they are the creators of these machines. They develop the machines. They are using those machines. How can we feel like that machine can overrule a human being? So it's not possible. We should not underestimate. That's what Tommy is telling Margie. That Margie, you should not underestimate the power of the human teacher. Okay, now if you can see here, there is a word bet. It is an informal word and it means bet you. It means bet. I am sure. Okay, is that clear? Now let's see the next. What is happening next? Margie wasn't prepared to dispute that. She said, "I wouldn't want a strange man in my house to teach me." Okay, so here this dispute means disagree. Dispute means disagree with when you are opposing something and you disagree. That is called dispute. Kind of a quarrel also, you can say a little bit. Okay, Margie did not want to discuss this further and added that she did not want a strange man, the human teacher, to come to her house to teach her. She said, "I won't allow any human being to come to my house and teach me." Why she is saying that human teacher will come to her house and teach her? Because she was not aware that teachers, they go to school. They do not go individually to these children's home, right? So that was the reason. Now let's see what's happening next. Come to page number 7 quickly. Okay. Tommy screamed with laughter.
You don't know much, Marty. The teachers didn't live in the house. They had a special building and all the kids went there. And all the kids learned the same thing? Sure, if they were the same age. But my mother says a teacher has to be adjusted to fit the mind of each boy and girl it teaches, and that each kid has to be taught differently. Just the same, they didn't do it that way then. If you don't like it, you don't have to read the book. I didn't say I didn't like it, Marty said quickly.
She wanted to read about those funny schools. See, the adjective they have used for our schools. What is it? Funny. They are considering our present day schools as funny schools. They weren't even half finished when Margie's mother called, "Margie, school!" Okay, so now let us quickly see. Let me explain you what the discussion they both were having. What does it mean? Okay, so Tommy found it very funny when Margie said that she did not want a strange man to come to her house to teach her. He said that teachers didn't come to the students' house to teach them. They had a special building, a school, and the students went to the school to study. Margie was astonished and asked that did all the children learn the same thing? Tommy said that all the children of the same age studied the same thing. You can relate it to our present day school classroom where you all are of the same age group, right? If 11 means 11, all the students are of nearby 11, 11 and a half. And one teacher comes to the class and teach all of you all together. You all sit together and a human teacher comes in your class and teaches all of you all together. And the teacher, she understands herself all of a sudden that this child has understood it or not, or that child requires more attention, need more attention, right? So she was quite astonished when she heard this fact. Okay. Marty refers to a machine teacher. She says that her mother told her that the machine has to be tuned to the level of each boy or girl who was studying from it. So each child had to be taught separately depending on their level. So she said that how it can be possible that one teacher teaches all together a full class of 30 students or 25 students. So she was very curious. She was showing her, eagerness to know more about the school, and Tommy was getting little bit irritated. Okay, now see what's happening. Tommy replied that in the past they did not do it that way, the way they were doing in the present scenario. Means they were learning through the robot teachers. He got irritated in Marty and said that she need not read the book. He was so irritated that he said that you stop reading this book, real book, because you're not understanding anything and you're just irritating me. So you stop reading this right now. Margie is interested in the book. She is curious to know what kind of schools were there. Margie was inquisitive. When she said, "Na, you can see here," she wanted to read about those funny schools. Where it is? Yes, here it is. She wanted to read about those funny schools. So means Margie was inquisitive. Inquisitive means she was curious to know more about it. Okay, she was kind of a girl who used to put a lot of questions of curiosity. She was showing through questions, asking so many questions. That is called inquisitive. So she wanted to know what kind of schools there in were the past, as she felt that they were fun. Are they fun? What do you think? School? School is fun or not? Of course it is fun. You meet your friends, you had a lot of chit chat, and you share your tiffins, you study all together, you discuss so many things, you share your personal things, secret things also sometimes. Okay, so means it's really fun. Chalo, let us move. They weren't even half finished when Margie's mother called. Margie, school. Okay, so Margie school was Margie had read just half of the book when her mother called her, as it was time for her to attend her virtual school. Her school was in her room only, in her house, and her mother said that now it's your time to attend your virtual classroom. Okay. Margie looked up.
Not yet, Mama.
Margie school was in the next room, next to her bedroom. It was already discussed in the previous session. She said to her mother that not yet. She did not want to go to school. Okay. Now, said Mrs. Jones, and it's probably time for Tommy too. So Mrs. Jones, Margie's mother, said to Tommy that it was time for him also to go to school, that he should also attend his virtual class. Okay. Margie said to Tommy,
"Can I read the books and notes with you after school?"
"Maybe," he said nonchalantly. He walked away whistling, the dusty old book tucked beneath his arm. So Margie was so interested in reading the book that she asked Tommy if she could read the book with him after her virtual class. Okay, means after the school, means after her virtual class ends. So what he said nonchalantly. Maybe he said nonchalantly. This nonchalantly means not showing much interest or enthusiasm. Very carelessly he said what maybe. Okay. So Tommy, why he said carelessly? What does it show? Means he is trying to ignore Margie. So Tommy tried to ignore Margie and said that maybe she could read it. Okay. So he walked away whistling, the dusty old book tucked beneath his arm. Tommy was feeling very great because Margie was interested in reading the book. He placed the book under his arm and he went off to his home. Now see what's happening. Margie went into the schoolroom. It was right next to her bedroom and the mechanical teacher was on and waiting for her. It was always on at the same time every day except Saturday and Sunday, because her mother said little girls learned better if they learned at regular hours. Here we are. Okay. So Margie reached her school, means she reached her room in the house only next to her bedroom. It was a room next to It was the room next to her bedroom. It was a virtual classroom. There was a machine teacher for Margie ready, waiting for her to begin teaching her. Margie studied all the days except Saturdays and Sundays. It was an off for Margie, Saturday, Sunday off. At the same time, from this mechanical teacher, Margie's mother was very particular. She had told Margie that she would learn better if she would study every day at the same time. I told in the very beginning when we were discussing the characters that Mrs. Jones, Margie's mother, she was very strict with the timetable. Okay, and you have to be when you are going through the online teaching, or some mechanical teacher is teaching you, you have to be very much strict and punctual to your timetable. Okay, now see what's happening next. The screen was lit up and it said, today's arithmetic lesson is on the addition of proper fractions. Please insert yesterday's homework in the proper slot. The screen was lit up. Margie, whose screen? Robot's screen, correct. Margie sat in front of the machine similar to a computer, and the machine was turned on. Okay, just like you sit nowadays in front of your laptops or mobile phones, and then you go through your WhatsApp classes similarly. Okay, it said that the lesson of the day was in arithmetic and the topic was addition of proper fractions. So they were going to study what on that day? Mathematics. Further, it instructed her to insert the homework of the previous day in the slot for inserting the homework. Okay, so there was a slot built up. Inside it, Margie has to feed her homework, yesterday's homework, so that through the punch code, that machine could read it and check and evaluate it. Okay, Margie did so with a sigh. This is called sigh. Okay, Margie's life is also very mechanical, just like a machine. There is no fun in her classroom. It is a very dull and boring, just like a machine. See, all alone, sitting in front of the laptop, studying through the robot teachers, no emotions, no feelings. You can imagine how boring it could be for Margie to bear that classroom. Okay, not going out of the house, not playing with the friends, no talking with the friends, no sharing with the friends. If somewhere you got stuck in any question, you cannot even discuss with your friend at that moment. Quite boring it is. Okay, so there was no fun. Now let's see. She was thinking about the old schools they had when her grandfather's grandfather was a little boy. She was thinking about the old schools they had when her grandfather's grandfather was a little boy. All the kids from the whole neighborhood came, laughing and shouting in the schoolyard, sitting together in the schoolroom, going home together at the end of the day. They learned the same thing so they could help one another on the homework and talk about it. And the teachers were people. The mechanical teacher was flashing on the screen. When we add the fraction 1 by 2 and 1 by 4, Margie was thinking about how the kids must have loved it in the old days. She was thinking about the fun they had. And this is our chapter's title, The Fun They Had. Okay, so Margie is thinking of the story told to her by her grandfather. Her grandfather told her that his grandfather used to go to school when he was a little boy. As Margie is bored with this machine, okay, she was bored with this machine, she is reminded of that life. Okay, so this is the life that you all are living at present, but for the future kids, it will be just a memory of the past. For them, it will be history, because their life will be very different. They will study from machines. When Margie comes to know that in the past children used to go to school, okay, when children used to go to school, they sat together and they laughed and shouted when in the school. She gets curious about it and wants to go to that old school. Okay, here the writer wants us to realize the importance of schools in our life. This is the motto of the writer. Okay, children sometimes get bored and fed up of going to school. Sometimes you also might be making excuses, Mama, today I don't want to go to school. But if you don't have a school, you won't get to meet friends. Your life will be very dull and boring. So Margie feels that school is so much fun. Children get together, they study in a fun way, they get the same homework and they can discuss it. They can take help and talk about it also. So all the students become friends and study in a fun way. She found it very strange that the teachers were not machines, but they were human beings. Okay, as Margie had inserted her homework, the machine started with the lesson. There was no pause, no time for fun, no time for chatting or interacting with that machine, and no time to interact with friends. How boring, no? How boring. So she found, this is how she found it quite boring and dull. And in the last, the author ends the story with the title of the chapter, The Fun They Had. Okay, the fun the students had when they went to real schools. I'm not talking about the virtual classrooms. Margie is just thinking about the kids of the past who went to the school and enjoyed studies. So this was our chapter, all about talking about the real schools, the real book, and the fun the students they used to had in the real school. I hope explanation. Okay, so now let us discuss about the moral of the chapter. What is the moral of the chapter? Can you guess, any one of you? Okay, so many things might be coming into your mind. That's great. Let me tell you, the moral is that however smart a mechanical or robotic teacher is, but there is no other thing that could teach us as good as a human teacher. Is it? Do you agree? See, robot teachers, mechanical teachers, they are developed, they are created by, they are invented by human beings only. It's human mind which has given birth to these robotic or mechanical teachers. So there is no comparison of a human mind with this robotic teachers. We are the one who are having a hold on these mechanical teachers. Okay, so we cannot compare a human teacher having emotions, sentiments. You can interact, you can share so many things. A human teacher may solve your problem, thinking out of the box also, sometimes going out of the way also, but mechanical teacher will do the things which are fed inside it. That's it. Okay, so the moral is very clear that human teachers are the best. Okay, now let us move to the next slide where I will show you the mind map. Okay, of the chapter must be clear to all of you. Now let me show you a mind map of the same so that it can be easier for you to understand all the facts all together at a glance. So let us see. So all of you, I hope all of you can see here on the screen. It is a kind of a mind map, okay, drawn. The Fun They Had by Isaac Asimov, written in 1951. And what's happening, we have just jotted down in a very crisp way here. Marty, there is a character named Marty, and she was writing a diary on May 17, 2157, because I told you the story is set in future, that's why she is writing a story in 2157. And what she wrote in that diary, that Tommy found and read a real book. Real book means the book we used to have nowadays, books with pages, okay, and printed text. So real books explanation is given here further. Real books means paper, pages. It was old. Words, they were standing. They were stand still. They were not moving. Okay. How they were studying? They were studying through telebooks. That was another term which we have used in our, which came in our chapter, telebooks. So what are telebooks? Telebooks were electronic books. Telebooks are electronic books. Read, you can read it on screen, and words they move in telebook. Then there was another character, Tommy. He found that diary, okay, about old schools. And where did he find that book? In the attic. What is attic? Attic is a storeroom below the roof. It's drawn here, shown here, you can see. And the old schools were centuries ago. There was a word highlighted when I was doing the explanation also. You saw it. Centuries ago means they were quite old. Then what happened? Then Marty, she talked to Tommy. She inquired that old school was fun. How it would be fun? Old school. Okay, so now old school. Old school means centuries ago. Old school existed centuries ago, and many kids used to study in a school, and the teachers were human beings, men. It's written men. Okay. Then Margie, she thought that old school was fun. Their students used to help each other. They walked together. You can see here pictures drawn. They shouted together. How they are shouting? Look at their faces. How funny. They laughed together. Okay. And then in the last we had a discussion about the schools in 2157. The schools, they were private, they were personalized. How they were personalized? They were at home. There is no social communication. One-to-one talk means the child has to talk to the machine directly, one-to-one. Mechanical teachers will teach in 2157. It was big, black, ugly. This description was given in the chapter of the mechanical teacher. You can see here, this is the big, black, ugly mechanical teacher, robot, having a big screen. And this is a small little girl, Marty, right? So this is all about our mind map. Just have a look on it quickly. I'm just waiting, pausing for a moment. Please have a look. Okay, so this was all about our first chapter, the fun they had. I hope that explanation must be understood by all of you. If still there is any doubt, you can call me during your doubt clearance session. Question answers I'll be sending you in the form of PDF. You need to do it in your one copy, in your English copy. I am getting so many queries that ma'am, do we have to make 2 copies or 1 copy? So let me clear you that you have to prepare only 1 copy for English, and all grammar and literature work we are going to do in that copy. Okay, so please mention date, on which date you are receiving this video and doing your homework in the copy. Do mention the title of the chapter, the author's name, and then start doing your work. Work should be done in a very neat and clean way. Okay, and I'll check it when school will reopen. Hope to see you soon. Till then, keep smiling. Have a great day ahead.